What's up, traders? Ralphdatrader here, back with another video. In today's video, I want to do a weekly breakdown of NAS100 from this past week. Show you guys some of the trades that I took and some of the trades that you could have taken advantage of. A lot of these trades are probably like scalp trades. All right, so some of them did take out the previous day's high, previous day's low, but majority of them were trades that took out like the current high of the day our current low of the day, which are still good trades. They still offer about 50 points on these trades. So, and let's just get right into it. So as you guys can see, from the past 2 weeks that the NAS100 has been in a bullish uh trend. All right, they have been trending bullish. Okay, nice uptrending move with the NAS100. Now, for me, I trade what I see. Okay, as you guys already know, I don't concern myself with the templates, day counts. All right, none of that. Now I do look at inside day trades. All right, and I'm just trading high and low of day. All right, previous days high, previous days low, current weekly, monthly highs. All right, so let's get right into what happened on Monday. First thing first that I like to do is always I like to zoom in on the chart. All right, so I like to know what it is that I'm looking at. All right, so just based off of Friday's move, and like I already said, the previous 2 weeks we have been in a strong bullish uptrending move. Friday move, as you guys can see, last Friday had a nice close and a nice uptrending move. All right, closing above our previous day's high, and as you can see, previous day's highs have been triggered. All right, so you have longs in the market. Okay, now, I don't really get into all that, but just looking at the chart, you can see that. First thing first, I like to do is check the news. All right, so that Monday, November 13th, we had no major red news on the calendar. We had some low impact FOMC news on that Monday at 8:50. Low impact news is no concern to me. All right. So going into Monday, what do I have? All right. On Monday, all right. What I like to do, and you guys already know if you've been following me for a while, you already know I just like to mark up the high and low before the market opens up at 8 a.m. And before I forget, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. The likes and all that is free. All right. So, but going into Monday, as you guys can see, when the session did open up, let's just blow this up. When the session opened, okay, you can see that we was inside of our previous day's high, last week's high, previous day's low, and the last week's low. Okay, so we're on the inside of our previous day's highs and low. Okay, now before 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, when the 12 candle window opens up for our session, I like to mark off the high and low of that current day. Okay, so as you can see here, this was the high and this was the low of the current day. Yeah, I am in a strong uptrending move, but I trade what I see based off the information that I know. So as you guys can see, as price uh when the session opened up here at 8 a.m., okay, you can see that it triggered our current high of the day, okay, and you can also see that price was just accumulating, all right, up underneath of our current high, all right. They was just collecting orders, and then boom, at 8:30, okay, they gave us a nice engulfing candle at 8:30, engulfing this whole entire little upper little consolidation accumulation that they had right here, giving us a nice engulfing candle. I took an entry at 9 a.m. Okay, took an entry at 9 a.m. Stops is at the high, right, and just got my 50 pips and got out. All right, so this was a nice, quick session scalp. All right, this is a session scalp coming off of the current high of the day. All right, now if you did not take this trade and you wanted to wait until after 9:30, you can clearly see that you had a nice 1, 2, 3 into your current low of the day with a tweezer bottom. All right, third hour. All right, this is 10 a.m. Okay, 10:30. You could have entered this trade back up into the high for your 50 points. Okay, easy peasy, man. This is all I'm doing. Nice, easy thing. But the thing about this is that you have to exercise this patience, discipline, and fearless. All right. Patience, discipline, and fearless. All right. So you can see you had a short trade, and you also had a long trade. All right. Now going into Tuesday. All right. We want to do the same thing. We just scratch this chart out so we can see this. Now Now going into Tuesday, we want to do the same thing. First thing first, all right. I like to just see how that day had ended. And you can see that we closed as an inside day. So I like to look for inside day trades. And we're in a strong uptrending move. All right. We're in a strong uptrending move. Monday closed as an inside day, which is just a signal day. It's not saying, hey, take a trade because you close as an inside day. No, it's a signal day. We still want to wait on confirmation. Now, going into Tuesday, we know we had an inside day. All right. Now we want to check our news. All right. What we have for news on Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday, USD, we had major red news at 8:30 all the way up until about 8:40, all the way up until about 10 a.m. All right. Major red news all the way up until about 10 a.m. All right. So what do? Before our session opens up, we mark off our high and we mark off our low before our session opens. And as you can see, when our session opened up at 8 a.m., our 12 candle window opened up at 8 a.m. on this candle. All right, you can see they had done triggered our high. All right, this little candle here, you can see it had triggered our high. All right, it rejected our high, rejecting our high. This is all before our session opened up. Our session opens up here. All right, opens up here at 8 a.m. All right, we had major red news at 8:30. And as you can see, this candle just took off. All right, major red news just took off. All right, it was gone. Never came back. All right, so I did not take a trade on this day, but if you wanted to wait until after 8:30, 9:30, you can see that we had a big strong push with the major red news. 9:30 came down, gave a nice rejection, gave you engulf, and you could have caught a quick scalp, trading in line with the trend. You could have gotten in here, all right, at 10:30, and you had your nice little move. And then at 10 a.m., you could have got a trade for a nice little 30 little pip scalp or whatever the case may be. I did not take a trade on that day, all right, because this major red news kind of it completely took off. All right, now going into our Wednesday. Okay, going into Wednesday. Now I see a lot of you guys might say, okay, we had Friday's high has been taken out. All right, inside day. Tuesday high has been taken out. Now you're looking for the short trade on the third day, free cash Wednesday, as Stacy says, but I trade what I see. All right, I trade what I see, not what you know. Trade what you see. So, news. We want to check our news. Okay, Wednesday, we can see that we had major red news for USD all the way up into about 9:30 is when we had some low impact news. All right. So after this, after 9:30, we had low impact news. All right. So then just going back into our chart on Monday, on Wednesday, sorry. What do we want to do? Okay, we want to mark off our high before our session opens, and we want to mark off our low. This is what I do. All right. This is just what I do. All right. To keep it simple for myself while I'm working my 9 to 5, I have to keep things very, very simple and things to a minimum of what I'm looking for. Now, as you can see, this was my current high of the day. Okay. This was the current high of the day sitting right here. Current high, current low. Previous day's high has been triggered. All right. Previous day's high has been triggered. We had major red news all the way up until 9:30 a.m. All right. So as you can see from the London session puts in a high, they pull it back, and coming into our New York session, all right, we put in a higher high. All right. So now we have a higher high. So price was making higher highs and higher lows. All right. We're still in our uptrending move. Now we had major red news at 8:30 all the way up until 9:30 is when we had some low impact news. So as you can see, major red news happens here. Took out our current high of the day, closing as an it did engulf this previous candle, right? But we did have news all the way up until our 9:30. So we want to wait. So depending on the time frame that you're in, you might have caught this back down. All right. It all depends on the time frame that you're using as well. Okay. But just knowing that we had major red news all the way up until 9:30, I want to wait. All right. So previous day's high would trigger current high if they was triggered. All right. We get a nice they give us a nice selling move all the way back down into our previous day's high. All right. And this is at 9:30 here. 9:30 closes right at our high. Okay. And then if you just pay attention to market structure, you can see that this low was broken. All right, this higher low right here was broken. All right, so you had this little minor breaking in structure of this uptrend in structure. Now, overall, we're in an uptrend, but based off of the price action of today, this was a higher low that was broken. So you had a little minor break in structure here. All right, and we wanted to wait until after the news. So 9:30, we're down here. Now, a high of the day has been triggered. Okay, a high of the day has been triggered, but we want to just wait. All right, we want to wait on some confirmation. So as price had this little minor break in structure, it gave us a nice pullback, retest, whatever you want to call it. All right, it pulls back. All right, and as you get pay attention, if you had your if you just look at where price was rejecting off of, price was rejecting right off of 15,900. So if you look, that's right at um our major level of resistance, which is 15,900, our double zero level. You can see that candles have been closing below that level. They're coming up, rejecting, coming up, rejecting, coming up, rejecting. This candle pulled back, pushed above it, but it closed below 15,900. All right. So we have our, our minor break in structure. We get our pullback. This next candle here gives us a nice little hanging man right off of 15,900. This is a hanging man candlestick. All right, next candle here at 11:30. As this candle starts to break down before it gets to our next level, all right, before it gets to our next level of support, which is 15,875, you could have taken an entry. All right, could have taken an entry on this candle, but I missed that entry. Okay, I missed that entry. The entry I took, I waited for this candle to close. All right, so now it broke below. All right, we broke below this higher low. All right, it broke below this higher low that was put in place here. So as it broke below that higher low, waited for the pullback, got an engulfing, and then I took a trade on this candle here and made like $400 on this trade. Okay, caught this trade right down here, staying in line with this little downtrending move. Okay, so that was a previous day's high of day trade setup. If you just exercise patience, discipline, and fearlessness, you had a trade. Now going into our Thursday, okay, going into Thursday, we want to check our news, see what news that we have. So on Thursday, we have major red news, unemployment claims at 8:30. All right, 8:30. Then we have some medium impact news combined with some low impact news. So major red news at 8:30. All right. So what do we want to do? We want to mark off our current high and our current low. That is what I do. Mark off my current high and my current low of the day. So at 1500, all right, 8 a.m. This is our 8 a.m. This is when our 12 candle window opens up. And as you can see from the Asian session, all right, our previous day's low was triggered. And then they just went into accumulation. All right, they're just collecting orders. All right, collecting orders. All right, during the London session. Okay, low was triggered. All right, previous day's low was triggered, but we had major red news at 8:30. Here's our major red news. And as you can see, major red news did trigger our current high of the day. All right. So we want to wait until after 9:30. Wait until after 9:30 when we have major red news. Here's our 9:30 candle. This is when the New York session opens up. Where are we? We're at the high. We're at the current high of the day. All right. We're at the current high of the day. All right. Third hour, 10 a.m. right here. This is third hour. All right. Third hour will give us a bearish candle. All right. Not an engulfing, but as or a pin hammer, but as you can clearly see, we had some rejection. It was rejecting off of our closing price level. All right, so if you pay attention to that, it was rejecting off our closing price level. And then if you come here at 15,800, which is our double zero level, you see here 15,800 was about right up in here. 15,800, which is our major level of which is a major level of resistance. All right. At this time, it's a major level of resistance. As you can see, 15,800, the double zero level was here. And if you go outside of that, all right, so we went about almost 30 pips out. So 25 to 50 pips outside of the 100 pip box stop hunt. All right. So they went about 30 pips outside, came back, reversed it. All right. During that third hour. Now, once 10:30 opens up, as price pulls back above your high, because we want to get in at the highest point, price pull back above your high. All right. Once it pulls back above your high and it starts to drop, you take an entry. All right. You can take an entry. All right. Because we want to get filled at the best price possible. So you take your entry. All right. And you can catch the sell move from the current high of the day and catch your 50 pips and get out the trade. Get your 50 and get out the trade. Because now that we're winding down into the holidays, just take what the market is going to give you. All right. It's not going to give us that big explosive move that we might be looking for. So if you're able to get your 50 and get out. Now, if you did not take the sell high trade off of the current high of the day, you had remember, we had our previous day's low triggered. So now that our previous day, it came below our previous day's low, and it also triggered our current low of the day. All right, you get a nice 1, 2, 3 with an engulfing. All right, with an engulfing. Here's your trade. All right, there's your trade. So this trade actually happened outside of the 12 candle window if you were still at your charts. All right, it happened outside of the 12 candle window. All right, because this here is either at 11:30, all right, new hour, 12 o'clock, right back up into the high for 50 pips, okay? Now going into Friday, all right, going into Friday, we want to check our news. Check the news going in on Friday. Okay, so on Friday, we had medium impact news, all right, at 8:30. Medium impact news at 8:30, okay? And, you know, you want to zoom in on your charts, all right? Forgot to zoom in, but I always zoom in on my charts to see what's going on. So this is what we would have seen. We zoomed in on our charts from our week. Okay, we can see we were still pushing up in a strong uptrend in the move, still in line with the overall trend. You know, even though we had some small little retests, some small little pullbacks, but we still overall we're still in the uptrend. But at the end of the day, you still have to trade what you see. I trade what I see on that current day. So coming into our current day on Friday, all right, I want to mark off my current high and I want to mark off my current low before my 12 candle window at 8 a.m. opens, okay? So going into Friday, you can see that we didn't have no major red news. Did we have major red news coming in? No, no major red news. So we had medium impact news at 8:30. Medium impact news at 8:30. All right. So as you can see that our previous day's high was triggered. All right. Previous day's high was triggered 8 a.m. was here. Okay. So our session opened up on this candle right here. All right. So we had our previous day's high was triggered. It came up and tapped our current high of the day. Okay. Came and tapped our current high of the day, giving us this nice Mariposa candle, which is a momentum candle. All right. So this is an engulfing candle, Mariposa, whatever you want to call it, but it engulfed the previous candle, momentum candle. And this was a trade that I did take. So as this next candle here opened up at 9 a.m., a new 4-hour candle has opened up at 9 a.m. We had the engulfing. So as price pulled back above our closing price level, all right, take an entry, all right, and got the 50 pips, and we was out of there. All right, we were out of there. Now, as you can see, price did come down and trigger our current low of the day, but we had some nasty price action for like about 2 to 3 hours here. Then it finally gave you an engulfing. Okay, came back with the retest. We could have taken a trade, but I took this trade here. All right, the short trade coming off of the previous day's high in and out of the market. All right, so that was just a nice weekly recap, all right, of the NAS100 that happened this past week. And I'm just showing you guys why I just, you know, eliminate a lot of the things that Stacy talks about. I'm not saying that those things do not work because I know they do work, but dealing with my schedule and what I have for myself, I'm not able to go through multiple pairs, look at all these different templates and all that. I'm just using the information that I have gathered and I'm using what works for me. And just what works for me is trading off highs and lows and understanding price action. All right. Understanding the timings, the levels. All right. And the behavior price at certain levels based off all the information that I have learned over my couple years of trading. All right. And then just incorporating what I've learned from Stacy is what has helped me, all right, to become a better trader, to continue to get 1% better every day. So what I'm showing you guys is just simple things that you can do, all right, to help you with your trading. You see, I'm not going through too many different time frames. So, if you want to use multiple time frames, use multiple time frames. My thing is to do what's best for you. Okay. Do what's best for you. Because at the end of the day, none of us sees the market the same. All right. None of us sees the market the same. Okay. So if you like the video, man, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. I gladly appreciate it. And like always, work hard, stay disciplined, and be patient, and know that your time is going to come. Peace and love. Have a good one.